what is array here? Here array is nothing but it is a collection of homogeneous elements. The elements are numbered as 0 to n minus 1 and it is called indices or index or subscript. If I want to access 30, how can I access? With the help of array name as well as the index or position. Hello to all, a warm welcome to my new session on arrays. I am Revati, faculty, Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. In my today's session, I am going to deal with arrays. What is the need of array, how to declare the array, and how to use the array, what are the different types of arrays we are going to have. Along with example, we are going to deal in my today's session. Instead of wasting much of time, directly dive onto today's topic, that is array. So what is array? Before that, let me to consider simple example. If I write int a equal to 5, what's the meaning here? Here a can able to hold only one value and that is 5. For example, think that now I want to store 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. That is nothing but I want to store 5 different values, and where I want to store in my variable a. But if I write int a equal to 5, then I am going to assign 5 to a. But I want to store 5 different values. By using variables, I cannot able to declare and store 5 different values. So what is array? Here arrays are the example, this one. That means here I want to store 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5. So it is nothing but a collection of item. So it is nothing but a collection of item. So what is array here? Here array is nothing but it is a collection of homogeneous element. I repeat, arrays are nothing but the collection of homogeneous element. So what is homogeneous here? Here homogeneous is nothing but the same kind of value or same kind of element. For example, think that if I write 1, 2, minus 5, 3.5, 6, is it homogeneous element? No, because this 3.5 is nothing but integer value. It is nothing but fractional value. And if I consider 1, it is integer. That is whole number. 2, whole number. Minus 5, whole number. 6, whole number. But what about 3.5? It is nothing but the fractional value. So here what is array? Arrays are nothing but it is a collection of homogeneous element. In computer language, we also need to group the data, that is data item of same kind. That means there are certain situations in computer programming language I need to group same kind of data. For example, if I consider different data types like integer or character, I need to group the data based on data type. For that, we are going to have arrays in our C+ programming language. The most basic mechanism that accomplishes this in C++ by using array. So array can hold a few data items or tens of thousands. That means if I declare array, then it is capable to hold 5 item or 10 item or 1000 item or lakhs of item. The data items grouped in an array can be simple type. So in programming language, I need to group the data. That means I need to group similar kind of data. For example, I'm going to make a group of integer, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, fine. Now, I want to make a group of character. This can be achieved by using arrays. And what are the simple data types I'm going to have here? That is integer, float or character, and they can be user defined types, structure as well as object. That means I can able to create array of structure as well as array of objects. So arrays exist in almost every computer language. That means most of the language, especially computer languages, are going to use arrays. So what is array here? It is nothing but the collection of elements. Nothing but the collection of elements where all the elements are same data type under same name. I repeat, it is nothing but the collection of elements where all the elements are same data type. That is nothing but the same kind of data items. That is nothing but the homogeneous item or homogeneous element under same name. For example, I'm having the integer data, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So it is homogeneous element, and where I'm going to store or hold all these elements by using some names, that is say num. Now what is my array name here? That is nothing but number, and it is going to hold collection of integer values. For example, another A, B, C, D. So this is of character type. For example, I'll take character data. So what is the array name here? That is nothing but the character data, and it's going to have A, B, C and D. Based on the data type, I'm going to group the data. Along with that, I'm going to specify the name for that data. The elements are numbered as 0 to n minus 1, and it is called indices or index or subscript. Let me take one simple example that I'm going to have 5 numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5. Now for each elements I'm going to give the numbers. So here for first one I'm going to start with the 0th index, that is nothing but indices or subscript. Then for second it is 1, 2, 3 and 4, and these all are nothing but the index. Suppose if I want to access 2, or if I want to know the position of 2 based on the index, I can able to access the element. For example, this is my A. Let me to give one simple name to this array, say A. Say it is A. Now it is A of 0, it is A of 1, A of 2, A of 3 and A of 4. Suppose if I want to access the element 4, how can I access? That is array of 3. By using array name along with the index, I can able to access 4. So these representations are called indices, subscript or index. These numbers are used to locate the positions of elements within the array. So these indices or indexes are used to locate the position of the array. For example, think that I want to know the position of the element 3. How can I? That is A of 2. So what is the position? It is 2. This is the way I can able to declare the array, use the array in my program. Moving further, this is the example I'm going to have here. For example, think that at the beginning, I'm going to have the data type, say int. There's nothing but integer, and I'm going to write the array name array. And what is the size? It is 5. Now, this array capable to store only 5 elements or only 5 items. That is, starts from the index 0 to 4. So, if A is the name of the array, if I consider this example, what is the name of the array? That is array. The elements can be directly accessed. Suppose if I want to access the element or item which is stored in this array, how can I access? That is array of 0, next array of 1 until array of 4. So here it is n minus 1, that is n minus 1. So 5 minus 1, I'm going to get the value 4. Array 0 is the name of the first element. So if I consider this example, array 0 is the first element and array 4 is nothing but the last element. So array of 1 is the second element. If it is array of 2, third element. If it is array of 4, then it is the last element. In general, A of I is the element represent at the position I. So instead of writing the index like 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, instead of that, I'm going to use the position I. So how I'm going to write? Array of I, and where I'm going to store or where I'm going to place this array of I? In my for loop or any other looping construct. Moving further, let's see the array representation. See here, this is the array representation. So let me to take one simple example here. I'll write the data type int A of 3. It is A of 3. When I write A of 3, the memory is created for this variable A. Now, think that this is my computer memory. This is my computer memory. Okay. Now, what is the size of the array? It is 3. And what is the size of integer? It is 2 byte. 2 into 3, total 6 bytes of memory is reserved for this type array. Okay, reserved for this array. So, it is 2 byte. Here also 2 byte. Here also 2 byte. Total 6 byte of memory is reserved for this array. Now, the array index starts from 0. So, along with the array name, I'm going to write the array index. Okay. So, what is the range? It is 3. What is the size? It is 3. But what is the range here? That is 0 to 2. Total, it is 3. Now, think that in the place of A of 0, I'm going to place 10, A of 1, 20 and A of 2, it is 30. Now, if I want to access 30, how can I access? With the help of array name as well as the index or position. Similarly, this is the array representation. What is my array name here? That is nothing but the A. And what about 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4? It is nothing but the indices or array index. Dear student, remember one thing that the array index by default, it's going to start from 0. By default, it's going to start from 0. The method of numbering the ith element with the index I minus 1 is called zero based index. If I'm going to specify the array index, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to I minus 1, and this kind of index or numbering is called zero based index. So here if I consider this example, what is my array name? That is A. And what is the index? 0 to 2. And this kind of representation is called zero based index. And what is the subscript here? That is 0, 1 and 2. This is nothing but the index. Moving further, I'm going to have the type of array. So here I'm going to have three different type of array. So first one is one dimensional array, second one is two dimensional array, and third one is multi-dimensional array. Let me explain one dimensional array first. It is an array in which each element is accessed by the single indices or single index. So, it is an array. There is nothing but the collection of homogeneous element. I repeat, it is nothing but the collection of homogeneous element, and it is accessed by one single index is called single dimensional array. So here index is nothing but the subscript or indices. The only one subscript represent the position of the element in array. So the only one subscript is going to represent the position of the array. For example, think that A of 3. If I write A of 3, then this 3 indicates the position. Okay. So, if I consider natural language and natural number system, okay, if A of 3 is nothing but fourth position, because natural numbers are going to start from 1. Okay. So, in general, we are going to speak, that is number starts from 1. 1 to 10. So here index is 3, but in our natural language it is fourth position. But if I consider computer terminology, then what is the position? It is 3. So here array index starts from 0. Now I am going to have the second type of array, that is two-dimensional array. So here the name itself indicates that 2. So what is 2 here? That is nothing but 2 indices or 2 index. For example, if I write 0, 1, here I am having 2 index. One is 0 and another one 1 index. So here this is always my row and this is always my column representation. It is an array in which each element is accessed using 2 subscript. It's also example for array. But how I'm going to access with the help of 2 index? For that reason, it is called two-dimensional array. The subscript represents the position of the elements in the array. So, if I write A of 0 and 3, okay, so this subscript represents the position of the array. So, where the element is stored in the location 0, 3. This is the example for two-dimensional array. Now, I'm going to have the multi-dimensional array. So, what is multi-dimensional array? That is nothing but the array with n dimension. If I consider previous example, I'm having only 2 dimension. If I consider multi-dimension, I'm going to have the n number of dimension. So here n dimensional arrays are called multi-dimensional array. It's also called array of array. Okay, that means within one array, I'm going to define another array is called multi-dimensional array. So here the one-dimensional array of one-dimensional array is called two-dimension. I repeat, I'm going to have one-dimensional array. In that, if I'm having another one-dimensional array, then it is example for two-dimensional array. A one-dimensional array to two-dimensional array is called three-dimensional array. For example, I'm having one-dimensional array. In that, if I'm having two-dimensional array, then it is called three-dimensional array. So this is the way I can able to declare the arrays in my program. So dear student, in my today's session, I started with what is array. So what is array here? That is nothing but the collection of homogeneous element. That means I'm going to group same kind of items together with same name. And how I'm going to identify the element based on the index. So in arrays, we are going to have three different type of arrays: one dimensional, two dimensional, three dimensional arrays. So one dimensional, one subscript; two dimensional, two subscript; and for three dimensional, it is n number of subscript. With the help of the subscript, I can able to identify or get the position of the element which is present in the array. Dear student, in my today's session, I discussed all these topics in depth. But in my next session, I'm going to deal with how to declare the array, how to initialize the arrays, along with some example I'm going to discuss. I hope in my today's session you got more information about array. Let's meet in the next session with some more information about arrays. Until then, keep watching and keep learning. Thank you.